The struggle is real for freelance writers who are trudging through stalled growth, income plateaus, confusion over what projects and services to offer next. But we are going through strategic methods for 2026 so that you can get unstuck, win work with your strengths, knowledge, and skills, and position yourself for a stronger, sustainable, more profitable next business step. I'm Mandy Ellis, and I built a six-figure freelance writing business, and now I help other freelance writers hit five-figure months with dream clients without the burnout, stress, and overwhelm. Let's talk about number one, those stalled growth strategies. So here are some questions to ask in your business if you feel like your growth has stalled and you really want to expand in 2026. What technique or strategy brought in the least amount of clients? What were the things that I spent the most time on that brought in the least amount of clients? And where did my fewest amount of leads or clients come from? That's the first question. Where am I rinsing and repeating without any innovation? Where am I reinventing the wheel time and time again without realizing it? What numbers in my business am I failing to track? Where am I letting fear, self doubt, limiting beliefs, burnout, or lack of processes and systems hold me back or take over? This could be something as complicated as hanging on to old clients that you're attached to, like a comfort blanket. This could be something like not raising your rates for years because you feel like you're not worth it, or all your clients say you're their highest paid writer, or that you're worried about losing clients. Or this could be something where you're like, well, it's futile to take any action because of A, B, and C reason. I think all of these questions really get at the heart of why your growth is stagnating. And it doesn't just say, like, hey, it's a mindset issue. You should just fix it by doing this magic thing. That's not really how it works. It's really about asking yourself the right questions to identify the pitfalls and holes that you're already in. And if you're someone who is dealing with a lot of stagnation, if you feel like you're plateauing, if you're struggling, I really want you to hop into my free masterclass. If you go to mandyellis.com/free masterclass, you can hop into my Feast and Famine to fully booked free masterclass where I am going to take you from underpaid, overworked, and ghosted as a freelance writer. And 4 steps in, you're going to do 4 steps so that you can be booked solid with high paying freelance writing clients. So you can go to mandyellis.com/free masterclass to hop in. But I want you to write these questions down and make sure you go through them. Really look at the data in your business. Do that annual business review. I'll put that here in the thing so that you can go in and do that business review that I have from before. I'll put that card in. But you need to make sure you're asking those questions and really analyzing. Number 2, are you struggling with productized services for 2026? So what this means is that we want to move to more deliverable based outcome focused work rather than just being like, yes, I'll do those blog posts, or yes, I'll do random content for you. I think that a lot of people are moving more into kind of the strategy or consulting or leveraging their current knowledge. And this can be for someone who has been freelancing for just a few years, 2 or 3 years. There is, I tell my students this all the time, that I regret waiting so long to get into strategy or getting into fractional work like I am now. I think there's so much knowledge that we have from doing all this work with clients. We see how they're doing it, we see the process, we know why they're doing it. But moving into more strategy based work or consulting work can really help you just leverage all the skills you've already gathered. The other thing, too, is that you want to switch from execution and implementation to something that you are planning the roadmap. This is something where you're using research and data to plan the strategy or plan the roadmap. It's not that you just know stuff and then you're doing it. It's very different than a blog post. You could do something like content or funnel audits. You can look at different workshops that you can run for a client to help them get all the stakeholders in one room and ask the right questions. You can figure out markers of success with them or KPIs. You can move into something where you are working on content plus putting the plan in place plus helping them track stuff. I think if you look at this more as the whole part of content and strategy and how they're buddies, it makes a lot more sense about why our high paying clients are moving into that. And if you're someone who is like, I want more examples, grab my free pricing guide. So if you go to mandyellis.com/free pricing guide, I have a bunch of content strategy packages in my free pricing guide to walk you through, like, what are you expected to do? What are the deliverables? How does that work? how would you propose this to a client? Like, what would you say? Those are in the free pricing guide, so that you can get an idea of like, what would I actually be researching or finding information from, or like, how would I do this thing? I think too, it can also help even if you're doing something like blog posts or a more simple type of project, thought leadership articles. Use a tool like Uber Suggest or SEMrush, or even put in Google Analytics, for your own website, and take monthly reports. Start looking through those. Like, how does this actually work? Where's the traffic coming from? What's the top post? What is gathering the most people? Like, why is this getting traffic, or why is this making a difference? I think if you can look at like, why is this working, or how is this working on your own stuff, or do it on your own projects, this can really help you then help clients in the future. If you can just see the flow of things, it makes it a lot simpler. And it also allows you to add in personalization. So if you do it for your own business, now you know how to kind of customize it a little bit for someone else's, or add little touch points, little nice personalization touch points for your clients along the way. And if this has been helpful, if this is something that's really helpful, the personalization, learning how to get into strategy, putting things together, make sure to subscribe. We're gonna talk about that a lot more moving into 2026. And the third thing here is repositioning and your messaging. And if you're someone who's like, I don't even know what that means, I don't know what that consists of, hit the thumbs up. We're going to go over it. But I want to know, like, where are we getting stuck on the positioning and messaging in our business? But you don't have to start over. This is something a lot of people think that they need to start over, or that they need to scrap everything they have. But really, it's about looking at the messaging and the types of work you're creating, the messaging that other potential clients and writers are using. And it's narrowing down, what work are you doing, how are you doing it, and for who. So we're combining those things. What are you doing, right? What types of work you're doing, who are you doing them for, and how are you doing them, with the outcomes of those projects. Why would someone be creating blog posts every month? Why would someone be doing a case study every 2 months? Why would someone be combining thought leadership with white papers and guides? If you can explain what the outcome of the point of doing those things is, you're already on the way to getting out of stuck income, working for clients who aren't a fit, and really moving into that innovative stage in your business. When we're talking about messaging, you really want to think about, what's the messaging of the niches that you're in, or the services that you're offering, or the projects. Like, how would you explain those? How would you talk about getting those things done, or working in that niche? And then put some of those things in your notes for your calls, because we want to make sure we have things at the ready in case someone asks. And this really helps us with our messaging to talk to clients on their level and not feel like flustered and stuff. We have our notes in our doc. And I always like to do this. Like, if I'm working on messaging for anything, I write the dumbest shit I can and then I make it fancy later. So for me, it's all about barfing it out, getting it on the page. So if you're working on messaging for your website, or messaging for a client, or messaging for your LinkedIn, or messaging just overall for your business, barf it out first. Just say the dumb stuff, get it all on paper, go to sleep, fix it the next day, or add fancy stuff later. It's really hard. Writers want to make it really hard from the beginning, because they're like, oh, what's the perfect tagline, or oh, what's the perfect opening sentence for my LinkedIn copy. Like, no, the goal is to get all the stuff on the page so that you can see the big picture, and then you start whittling it down to the stuff that needs to be there. In the process of doing that, you're going to come up with better sentences. You're going to see the holes. You're going to fix stuff, but you want to get everything done on the page. You want to just get it down on the page, then make it fancy later. And if we're talking about repositioning, where are your clients coming from? That's one of the positioning things. So if you are getting clients from referrals, you should probably say that in your copy, like, hey, I get a lot of clients from referrals. Or you should say something in your copy that talks about, like, usually my clients find me on LinkedIn, or when I connect with clients on LinkedIn, or when they hit my website, they go to these 3 places. So you want to weave that into what you already offer, and really think about making yourself a strategic partner versus just like a keyboard typer or a content creator, with not that kind, but like someone who just types the content. The strategic partner part, and when you can talk about, like, why are clients coming to me, or what have clients said in the past, or what are some things that I can kind of highlight as a strategic partner, that repositions your business more towards being a partner versus just someone they hire to just do stuff. And I think a lot of times, like when we're doing repositioning, we don't want to feel like we have to just lose everything, or we have to do the most lucrative this, or level up to this, or whatever. I think making that switch and really understanding that you want to take your business in a certain direction helps a lot to really kind of um, put your aspirational copy out there, so that by the time a client finds it, you've already done those projects. And when you're kind of shifting from implementer to someone who is more like a trusted advisor, or someone who's doing strategy, something like that, or audits, or fractional leadership, these are things that you can add slowly over time. You don't have to just say, like, I'm doing no more content, zero more content, I'm just doing this. You can start adding these in over time. So maybe you add a workshop. Maybe you have a great client who you're saying, hey, can I do a strategy roadmap for you, just to, I'm testing out a new service. You can do something like, hey, I'm testing out this fractional package, or I might have this little add-on. Can I test it? There's always clients who are willing to test it with you. And I think it can be really great to kind of learn, especially when you have a client who's already kind of on board and likes you, and you guys get each other, to test these different things with them. And it allows you to see, like, do I actually like this? Do I actually want to incorporate that into my other packages, or how do I actually like this? I think we don't want to keep hiding as writers. We don't want to keep hiding behind, like, just give me the work and I'll do it. I think we bring so much more to the table. And if writers just take that more confident step forward into, hey, I have a lot of knowledge and skills to leverage to help my clients get better results, or more results, or different results than they're getting now, that confidence piece is really the important part. Remembering how much you're bringing to the table, versus just like, just give me the thing and I'll type it. Like, I don't want to go through it fear-based. We want to move forward more into confidence. And if you're someone who is really building more of that confidence, or you want to get more leads, or you are saying a few things like, I just want them to pay well, I don't want to just keep doing blog posts, or I feel like nothing is interesting them, I think this video below can really help you. So make sure to check that one out. I hope this one was helpful, and I will see you next time.